Yeah, Raj, last week's video I was watching little bit. I could watch only half an hour, the first half an hour. So, I don't remember. I mean, I've not seen the whole thing. I remember little bit sketchy memories I have, but can you help us? Like,
Absolutely, sir. Sir, should I refresh the topics from the beginning to the end?
a little bit, I will also,
Okay,
catch up and, as usual, and I will also input my views and stuff. Right?
sure. Absolutely.
Okay.
Everyone, last week we discussed beginning with the neural patterns, how the neural patterns would build up schemas in our mind. For example, how the neural patterns would help store the practices that we have for our life. For example, some of the life skills such as could be a motor driving or bike riding. So there are myelin sheets, myelin codes, which will bind the neural patterns and freeze on the skills that we learn. That way, we don't lose the skills. For example, the learning activity is one time. Once we master that skill, it is automatically stored in the neural patterns. So this was one of the examples that we took. From there, we switched on to discussing how and why some of the great leaders in the world they come to limelight suddenly. Is it are they coming? Are they showing that maturity at once, or they have seen a lot of failures in the life and then coming to limelight? So one of the examples that we took was Abraham Lincoln, who had multiple failures in life. However, he has been one of the impressive personality in the world, for that matter. So we also spoke about quantum development. What actually
So
transformed?
idea was someone like Lincoln who had so many failures till age 52, 53. And suddenly everything fell into place. Last 20 years of his life almost were so magical, like whatever he did, he was so successful in that. He went on to become president also ultimately. And not only a president, but one of the best presidents America has ever had, like he became so effective. So we were discussing, how this phenomenon is called neuroplasticity, by the way. Neuroplasticity is a new term which is in much in vogue. You may have heard about it. So the brain's almost infinite capacity to mold itself, remold itself, develop itself. And the secret, what they are finding is this, what I explained last class, that the neural patterns is the secret. So brain is able to form neural patterns representing every skill, every ability, even every understanding also. It seems that every understanding that we get also kind of gets, represented in some neural pattern. So this is the secret, and we have 100 billion neurons inside the brain, and each neuron is capable of forming a connection with any other neuron. So by law of that permutation combination we studied in mathematics, you can just imagine, 100 billion neurons forming connections by choosing any other neuron. It's almost infinite number of possibilities. It's not a number which is definable basically. So that is why this proverb which I have often repeated earlier, Hari Anant Hari Kathananta, that Hari, that is God, is infinite and creates infinity. It's very apt for the human being. In a way, human being as a creation of God is infinite in nature. The kind of growth a human can attain is virtually infinite, literally infinite. So that is what this science also is showing to us. Neurological science also is showing to us through this particular concept that we studied. So we should never be pessimistic about our own talents or about anyone else's talents that are present in our life. For example, my child or my younger brother or sister or someone like that. So that is what we discuss. So neural patterns can form for any skill, and they can form virtually for infinite number of skills. So we should not worry that if I learn too much, I will become overburdened or my brain will become overburdened. Actually, it's the reverse is true. As you develop more and more of your cognitive capacities, initially there may be a kind of a lethargy in learning or pain in learning, because that is because we are not used to thinking, we are not used to applying our brain so much. So one of my favorite things which I've always taught in all my courses is that the power of the cognition over emotion. I'm again reiterating here, I believe cognition is more powerful than emotion. And emotions basically are a result of our interpretation. I mean, if I didn't interpret a situation, I will not have an emotion. I mean, I don't know how much you agree with me. through your intuitive experience of life. I would like to hear from you, Raj, Sachit, Kirtana, how much you agree with me if I say that you will not be having an emotion about any situation unless you interpret the situation cognitively. Whether you're doing it consciously or unconsciously doesn't matter. But some cognition, some evaluation, some interpretation is happening. That's my hypothesis. Do you agree with me?
I agree, sir.
Kirtana, would you agree with me?
Yes, sir, definitely.
Okay. Sachit, how about you?
Yes, yes, sir, because I think we form certain perceptions about everything as we pick up in life experiences, right? So, basis that is what how we feel. So, yeah, certainly agree.
Yeah, so it happens so fast. What I mean is the evaluation happens so fast that we are not able to consciously catch it, and emotions start to envelop us, and we think that emotions are a priori, or no, they happen before the cognition. That is what we think. But actually, that also is true. Many times for many stimuli, emotions happen instantaneously, even before the cognition happens consciously. Why? Because we already have a preconceived opinion about that particular stimulus. Like I see a certain person, and instantaneously my system is flooded with negative emotions. Oh my God, he is also here. Why did I come? It would have been better if I didn't come because I hate this person. But the point is, I hate this person. It's an emotion, right? But it is automatically generating, a pride in the sense that I am not evaluating this person again. I have already evaluated in the past. You see, so in such a case, emotion just happens spontaneously, and I say I hate this person, but I don't hate him for something he did now. I hate him for what he has been doing or has done in the past. So that's what I'm saying. So idea is that why it's a very important distinction, and I'm glad I started here today morning. It's a very important thing because world is, one of the problems facing the subjective world of today's society is emotions are overpowering the cognition or the rationality, what we call it. Emotions are overpowering the rationality. You can see the proof in terms of the growth in psychosomatic illnesses. You can see it in terms of growth in consumption of you know uh, uh, drugs or medicines which relate to the mental illness or psychological illness, the number of psychiatrists in the society, then the number of cases of suicides, or people suffering from depression and such illnesses which are basically illnesses of the mind in the sense, not the body. So these are like evidences of the fact that emotions are for many people overpowering the reason, which is a God given gift to man. So my submission is that with the power of our reason and support of enlightened teachers and enlightened society, parents, relationships, my friends, my husband, my wife, if they are enlightened enough, loving enough to give me support, and my own ability to form reasonable, what shall I say, reevaluate my earlier assumptions, reevaluate my earlier cognitions, reevaluate my earlier interpretations, and this ability plus ability to let go of the past, that's a very important thing I will add here. So what I'm now doing now, I'm very carefully now expressing what I'm doing. What I'm doing is I'm trying to offer a solution to many people to help them come out of negative emotional patterns and come to a new life where they see the fact that in the present moment, you are not living in a monstrous world or a jinxed world or a sad world or a frightening world. You know what I'm saying? These are perceptions which are formed in your mind from the past experiences. That's what I'm saying. So if you could now, this this ability to let go of the past and ability to be in the present moment and give this present moment a new chance, it's a spiritual ability. You see, this is a spiritual ability. But if we can cultivate this spiritual ability, that's a condition, and then use this ability plus our God given brains to reassess the situation and make new choices, then you will see in due course, within a few months' time, few weeks to few months' time, you can see that your emotional mood starts to get elevated. You have to try this, what I'm saying. I mean, everyone who is listening to me, you should try this, what I'm saying. So I'll reiterate two things. One, develop this ability to let go of the past. Okay. Bury the past in the past. Someone said, no, let the dead bury the dead. A very famous statement someone made. So, that's what they meant. People who live in the past, they are like dead. Right. So they are burying the dead in the sense that if they are reliving the past again and again, they are burying the dead again and again. What is the point? See, we bury the dead once and then, give our, condolences and then move on. That's what life is meant to be. Life is meant to be lived in the present moment. So that is the point. So once this ability we cultivate, and we will be able to cultivate if we try, then we can use our brains and our ability to form new neural patterns, which represent new interpretations of life, new understandings of life. We can start a new chapter, of hope, optimism, joy, peace, and whatever, any quality that we can imagine, good quality, good emotional quality that we can imagine. So this is very important, right? So that is what we discussed last class, the brain's infinite capacity to form new connections, new patterns, never stop learning. There's no reason to stop learning. We can keep growing throughout life. And the third thing I will say is that, this is coming from Bhagavad Gita, okay. This is a very important learning. So Bhagavad Gita explains mind in terms of sanskaras. Now, sanskaras are nothing but patterns. Instinctive patterns of interpreting reality and behaving is what is called sanskara. When instinctively, without thinking, you behave in a certain manner, that is a very crude way of defining a sanskara. I'm not saying it's very accurate, but it's a crude and but sufficiently broad definition which fits generally the bill. I mean, one can give pass marks to this definition. Okay. So that is what a sanskara is broadly. Sanskara is a little bit more than this also, but broadly for our discussion right now, we will accept this as a working definition. I hope it's okay with you, right? Now, why it is important is because the sanskara produces automatic reaction. The sanskara produces automatic behavior, automatic thought, automatic emotion. So what we are experiencing life as is not as if life is like that. It is we are interpreting life, experiencing life as that. So life is not only objective, it's also very much subjective. So that is the power of sanskara. Sanskara it does actually. It converts the objective life into a subjective experience. And that is why it's a very important discussion. So why I am saying this? It is because we should take extreme care in choosing as much as possible what will impinge upon my consciousness. This is a very important skill which is not taught, unfortunately, to school children. This should be taught at age 6, age 7, not later than that. Sigmund Freud, the father of modern psychology, he claimed that personality gets fixed at age 6. Why did he say that? Was he a fool? We know Freud is one of the most greatest minds in the last 200 years, right? We all agree, right? So, such a brilliant mind, such a brilliant observer of human personality, why did he make that claim? Because that is what he saw in case after case after case after case observation, and he has tremendous insight into human nature. So someone like that we can't dismiss offhand, right? So he is very right for a normal person. For a normal person who doesn't take the pains like we are taking to develop or continuously develop their cognitive abilities throughout life, for them it is a law that personality gets fixed at 6. Why it is a law? I mean, it's not a law. It's a general. Maybe I don't know how to call it. It's not physics we are discussing. We're discussing psychology right now. It's a psychic law. Let's say that a sanskara once formed unless you have a re-look at it, will determine your behavior almost completely. That's what we are saying. So this having a re-look at our sanskara is a spiritual ability. It is a spiritual decision. It's in a way spirit saying that no, I shall not be governed by my past. It's a very important decision the spirit can make. My spirit, your spirit, anyone's spirit can make. It's a very important decision, right? That I shall not be governed by, see, ultimately spirit should not be governed by anything. But to start with, I shall not be governed by my past. To reach that state, no, where I shall not be governed by anything, I have to start from this state where I shall not be governed by my past. Okay. So I shall not be governed even by my sanskaras. Okay, because I am way beyond my sanskaras. I am the divine spirit. So Krishna says that, how sanskaras get formed? They get formed by the memories, the experiences of the past. Every soul reincarnates many times according to Sanatan belief. So we are all souls, we have had countless births. So we are carrying sanskaras from innumerable births in our chitta. They have accumulated. We have discussed that in the earlier classes also. We are revisiting with a different focus. Here we are revisiting with the focus of eradicating them and replacing them with a better sanskaras. Now, can we live without sanskaras? There is no reason to live without sanskaras, and it is not possible also. Both. Is it bad that we cannot live without sanskara? It's not bad, because, is it bad that I'm driving a car? It's not bad, no. Car should be functioning nicely. So my chitta or my mind or my manas is basically a car that I'm driving, is a tool that I'm using to experience my life. Now, is that a bad thing? No. Without that, what will be life all about? Life is all about experiencing, right? So in Devi Puran, the first sentence is, I bow down to the goddess without whom Shiva could not have moved even an inch. It's a very mysterious and very powerful statement. I love this statement. So what is the idea? Idea is Shiva is the substratum Brahman, the supreme consciousness, the spirit, and Devi is the Maya, the Prakriti, the beauty of life, what we experience, right? The beauty and the pain and the misery, everything. That is the Devi. Devi is energy, E is equal to mc square. Energy, matter, the whole play of, life, what we call life, right? So we want to participate in this play in a happy mood, not in a sad mood, right? And we want to grow prosperous, we want to grow healthy, we want to have a beautiful life, we want to influence people around us also to have a beautiful life. We want to be, a source of joy to everyone. That is the idea. And that is the goal of spirituality. So Krishna says that sanskaras form because of the past experiences. Now what I'm saying is now that let us use this knowledge to at least take control of the present moment. What happened in the past, I can't help it. But now I take a sankalpa that I will not let anything untoward, unhealthy, to influence or impinge upon my consciousness. That is what I'm saying. So this is a very important, not very important, most important skill which every human should be taught at age 6 or 7, around that time. Okay. So in my personal life, I'll give an example of my personal life. My younger son Rishi, okay. Now from childhood, he had a nature of giving up very easily. And it is because of his horoscope where his moon is in Ardra Nakshatra. And I've already told you about Ardra and Mrigasira, if you remember. Ardra is the Rudra where, which represents all the misfortunes of life. So since his birth horoscope, his moon is in Ardra Nakshatra, he is prone to flare up in tears or in violence or anger whenever reality doesn't meet his expectations, or when friends tease or something like that, or he can't solve a problem immediately, or he can't reach an answer immediately. He has a tendency to become, upset and give up or cry or fight. That tendency is inborn in him. So I can call it a sanskara, right? Agree with me, Raj? I can call it a sanskara. Now I see this in my son, right? And I see his horoscope being an astrologer. Now do I give up? I don't give up. So I know that my child is right now clay. Even though sanskara is coming from the past, I can form it again. So what I did was I started to repeatedly tell a few lines from a Hindi couplet. Okay. Where, the meaning is, that we should never give up. And whenever we make an effort, that itself is a success. There is a very famous poem, Nanni Chiti jab, दाना लेकर चलती है, 100 बार फिसलती है, 100 बार गिरती है. Like Amitabh Bachchan has recited it very beautifully on YouTube. You can hear it. So I often will play this poem for him repeatedly. Then in one, Hindi poem, करत करत अभ्यास का जरमती होत सुजान, रसरी आवाज जाते सिल के परत निशान. Very famous couplet, by some great Hindi poet, which says that Karat Karat Abhyas means if you practice repeatedly, Jarmati ho sujan, even a person who is very dumb can become very brilliant. And Rasri Avat Jate, like in olden days, in a well, they will pull the water with a bucket. So that rope will rub against the stone, right? That stone parapet of the well, no? And you can see that, in a few years' time, that rope will make a dent in the rock. So Rasri Avat Jate Silpe Parat Nisan. So when a rock, can be dented by the rope, similarly by repeated practice, even a dumb-witted person can become brilliant. So this I often used to tell him, and it has become a part of his nature. So in a way, I have rewritten his sanskara. Upon his existing ardra sanskara, I have imposed this positive sanskara. It's a Jupiterian mindset. And also Mars, resilience. So you never give up. And why you never give up? Because of this wisdom that even a rope is able to dent the rock. So this is a picture, right? So I gave him picture, language, and repeatedly when he will face some adversity, I will tell this, then I will again show him that Nanni Chiti, that poem. So repeatedly, hundreds of times. So by now, it has become his second nature. Now he's writing his board exam right now. So he's doing much, much better than what he would have done if I had not given him this new sanskara. So what I'm trying to say from my own life example is that it is possible. Even a moon in Ardra person can be made into a optimistic person. I also noticed that when he was very small, I have never scolded or punished him in my life. That's not my nature. And still till age 6, 7, 8 also, instinctively, if he has done something wrong, which is according to his perception, he has done something wrong, he will be very scared of me. He will not come in front of me, he will hide from me. Or he will automatically start, to defend himself as if I'm going to beat him. But I've never hit him. So why is he doing like that? Why he is reacting as if I will beat him? That is Ardra moon. He has been beaten in the past births by someone very violently for a long time. So this is a soul level reaction coming from past lives. I can see that because I am not the cause. See, in the present moment, I am the stimulus, which is very loving father. But he is reacting to a past stimulus registered in his unconscious mind. Are you following me what I am saying? I can see that. That is why I was the extra loving father to my younger son. Very consciously, I have never judged his marks. I have never cared about his results. Only once in my life, when he was in standard 6, I have reacted to him because it was too much for me to take, because he was not able to do simple, maths like 7 plus 4 or, 9 minus 3. And then I was very deeply shocked. And then I had blurted on and scolded him a little bit. But then after that, I again, did the right thing. I made some interventions. I bought, he was in standard 7th by that time. So when I made the intervention, because I had to really think how to handle this situation. It was very challenging. My own son, right? I can't let it be. So I then bought this. What is that? RC. Some book is there. I forget the name. Some famous book is there. Which is this author has written for every class: 7th, 8th, 9th, 10th, 11th, 12th. So that book I bought for him, and I told him, you finish this book, by end of standard 7. And before that, I had introduced him to Amar Chitra Katha because his English was also weak. So as a result of that, he was doing very poorly in all the subjects, whether general science or social studies. He was trying to mug up things, and because his English is poor, he was not able to remember also much, and he was doing very, very badly in all the courses mostly. Okay. So, but I understood what is a fundamental problem. So, two problems, right? One is language, other is mathematics. That is what school study is all about, right? Language plus numbers. If you can solve both problems, you have solved the problem. So, to take care of the language problem, I introduced him to Amar Chitra Katha. And one by one, any number of Amar Chitra Katha he will tell, I'll buy. And like that, he loved because it's a very simple language in pictorial, it shows pictures, right? And like that, he started to become better at English, so his marks in other subjects improved. Because once you become better at English, you can read the textbook and understand, and you can write properly. By standard 7th, he started to do better in social studies and such subjects, where English language skills started to help him. So self-esteem started to improve, and his courage started to improve. Then maths is a problem still. So I told him, no, you I think R.S. Agarwal, I think, that is the book. So I bought, it's a very fat book. I bought that book and taught him about the goal setting theory. How goal setting theory is a very powerful theory, and how it can help people to grow in their personal competence. So I told him that theory, explained to him, and told him, you set this as your goal. Even though I am telling you, being your father, I know how this goal will help you. So I told, by this end of this year, you have to finish this book. He says, Papa, this thick book. Next day he brought this book. Papa, this book has 700 something pages. How on earth it is going to finish in 1 year? Then I told him, beta, how many days in a year? 365. I said, how many pages in the book? Let's just see 760. I said, 2 pages only per day. You just multiply, you just see. 2 pages in a day you can do. He said, I can do 2 pages per day. Yes, that is possible. So you do 2 pages per day, or maybe increase the aspect to 3 pages per day. So I showed him, like, if you do it 3 pages per day, then you can finish it in 240-50 days. If you make it 4 pages per day, can you do 4 pages per day? He said, yeah, I can do it. Maybe Saturday, Sunday, I can do it. I said, fine, like that, if you do, within 6 months, 8 months, you'll finish the book. So he became very happy. He said, fine. Now you see, when I'm giving a goal from outside, he has not internalized it, right? Because in nature is to play and run here and there. So he did it with a lot of energy for 10 days, and then again he started slacking. Now again, as a good coach, I will never point it out to him that he has not, he stopped working upon that book. So when 10 days, 15 days, 20 days will go by, suddenly one day on a Sunday I'll say, beta, to kahan tak pahunche? R.S. Agarwal mein, like, then he will, oh, Papa, I did not. Then no, again he will start for 2-3 days like that. So in fits and starts, he was doing it. I will never point it. Only once in a while I'll just make a comment like that, but never check or never micromanage. Just make a statement. Then he will again do it for some time. And then I will sometimes say after 2-3 months, beta, one should complete one's goal, because I will teach. If you don't complete your goal, what happens? Your mind develops this tendency to not complete your goal. Mind becomes lethargic, mind becomes lazy, and that is a trait that you are picking that is going to ruin your life. This I will teach. So you'll again know that will affect him for some time. But because tamas doesn't go so easily, he will again fall back to old patterns and like that. But because he was solving a tougher book, he started to become better at maths. Okay. By end of standard 7th, he became much better. He started to pass the course. Okay. So at least from where they were getting laddus and 5s and 10s, he started to get, 40s and 50s. So then, he reached standard 8th. Then standard 8th, he says, Papa, let us buy the R.S. Agarwal for 8th. I said, no, you have to finish first for standard 7th. Without completing standard 7th, I will not buy. Then after 2-3 months, again he demanded. He did little bit more from standard 7th. Then he's complaining to his mother, I know already this chapter, why Papa is telling me to solve this? No. Then I overheard, and then I explained to him, no, better, no, it's not like you know already this problem. That is not the problem. Problem is you had made this your goal, no? So it is important to complete the goal. Otherwise, whole life you will, leave incomplete projects behind. You will never complete any project. It's very important to complete a project that you start. This is a very important principle in life. I want to teach him. So, anyways, because he was a little bit pissed off, I bought the standard 8th R.S. Agarwal also. But I told you will not touch this book till you have finished the standard 7th. Okay. Now this rule I broke after 6 months because his exams are approaching. So he said, no, Papa, I want to make. I said, okay, theek hai, chalo. I made an exception also. So now, see, another principle is you have to be flexible. We can't be rigid as a coach. Right. We have done enough to demonstrate or reinforce the value of finishing one's goal, but also important to show flexibility. Otherwise, he will also become rigid. When he will grow up, he will be a rigid father to his child. I don't want him to become like that. So I showed flexibility. I should find you solve standard 8th. But I will keep reminding, beta standard 7th ka khatam hua ki nahi hua. Even till today he has not finished. Till today that book he has not finished. So I have told him after board exam, beta I have to finish 7th and 8th both. He has agreed. His board exam gets over on March something 13th or something, and after that he has agreed, Papa, before June I will finish both 7th and 8th, because now I can make 40 pages one day. Because his skills have become a different level, right? Now he is doing very well in maths. Not very well means 80 upon 80, but he can get 50, 55, 60 upon 80, which is a miracle, for that boy. Standard 10th level maths is a very high level, right? So for that boy who could not do 7 plus 4, 7 plus 5 in, let's say, 4 years back, he is able to solve, maths of standard 10th level with that kind of proficiency. He's not a genius, but he's a decent enough student, right? I will say that's a quantum jump. Don't you agree with me? So tell me what you guys learned from this story. I shared my personal life story, right? Rishi is listening also. He's sitting downstairs. So like principle, I don't hide from my children. I'm very transparent father, just like right now. So this will prevent self-esteem issues from developing in him. He will not be a guy who will become insulted very easily. And am I insulting him? No. I'm using him as an inspiration to the whole society, right? Anyone who listens to this story. Many parents may listen to this story, right? Yeah, Raj, you're telling something. Sorry.
Yeah, sir, I was trying to go back to the topic of samskaras, how samskaras can be altered with the cognition of a human being. Sir, while you were talking about the goal setting theory, which is one of the powerful theories, and now every company has accepted, and no company would work without a goal. It could be a small organization, could be a major corporations. So while you told Rishi about, hey, you have to you have to finish 7th standard book as well as 8th standard book in a specific time, and you kept your parenting style very flexible, understanding his exams are coming on. However, the samskara is still given to him, stating you have to finish. So the end objective is, what he takes out of those books is something separate. But you are slowly building the samskara of not to leave anything unfinished. So that is something which I took it out of this conversation.
Yeah, it's a personally a great learning experience for me also, because what I am seeing now, Raj, is a great miracle. One of the greatest miracles of my life. My son is a great miracle. And very interestingly, in his D10, Raj will know what I'm saying. D10 is the divisional chart which shows a person's achievements in his life, in his professional life. He's an amazing D10. He's an amazing D10. Whether it is his powerful D10 which motivated me to behave like this, I have no idea. It may be like that, but the point is that the transformation in him, which will make him a world-renowned teacher, which he will become. He is destined to become a world-famous teacher. It is horoscope, okay? Because in his horoscope, his Jupiter is in 4th house, in Sagittarius, Swagiri. So in the area of education, he is going to be a great teacher. He is destined to be that. But then his father played a great role in transforming him from that, little bit weak student to a very extraordinary student. He is going to become. He will not remain that dumb student. Within 3, 4, 5 years from now, he will be a student of whom the school will be proud, college will be proud. But I set the ball rolling, you see. I created a new Sanskara, a new momentum in his life. Now this approach that I can do, I can achieve, that can do attitude has come. You see, and that's the great victory. That's the great victory. From I cannot do to I can do, that's a great victory. Or I am jinxed or I am unlucky person. To know life is fair to all. We discussed last class, remember karma. Raj, I was giving Sai Baba example that
Yes.
that person who was dying of tuberculosis. Other people can watch the video, it will be shared shortly. So I will not spend time on that. But I was telling that it's ultimately your karma, your past also, law of karma also operates. I'm not saying that. But point is, we can't be a fatalistic person. We can't surrender, because ultimately we are all divine spirit, right? We can transcend the barriers, we can transcend the circumstances, we can transcend the horoscope. So why not? Amma is known to change lives. Amma has. There are cases where Amma has taken the palm and made the this like this. What is that? I'm changing your fate line, and then the person has blossomed after that. A master takes a sankalpa in her mind and then supports this person like a mother. Then this person grows. That's what I did with Rishi also, right? I'm not Amma, but still, just with my PowerPoint knowledge, I made one intervention. It has succeeded. That's the point. So sanskaras are powerful. Past is powerful. But ultimately, all things said done, present is more powerful than the past. That's the point I'm trying to make. What I do in the present is more powerful than what the past is doing to me. I'll repeat, what I'm doing in the present is more important than what past is doing to me. Past is making me sad, unfortunate, but I will not accept it. I'm a divine soul. In the present moment, I will not accept it. I will rewrite my destiny. I will rewrite my destiny. That's the spirit. That's the spirit's spirit. A spirit will never succumb to past. Spirit can write its destiny. That's what I'm saying. Okay. It's a very beautiful take upon the what we did in the last class, first 10-15 minutes, right, Raj?
Yes, sir.
I think I gave a beautiful touch to that one. Okay. It's inspired by Amma, I think. Okay. Very good. Okay. Then what else happened last class, Raj? I'll give closer to this topic, right? It's enough, right?
Yeah, sir, I would like to make one, probably I would like to combine 2 points that you made, sir. One is from the Sigmund Freud's research of identifying the personality gets fixed at the age of 6. So that's one. And at the same time, I was also trying to contemplate on why some people take the pain of going extra mile. For example, all of us have got our day job, which is, we are very busy and there are too many things on our plates. But still, why some people go extra step and maybe, pick up a book, they try to enhance their skill. Not that, by reading that book, they'll get rich in a month, in a year, or in 2 years. But still, they're taking that extra step to invest in their own development. So investing in our own development is definitely a pain, but many people would enjoy that pain. So what are your thoughts in terms of what is the mindset of those people who will go extra mile and take the pain but still enjoy it?
Actually, if you ask me honestly, I have begun on a different note than what I had planned. It was one of the first occasions or very few occasions when before a class I have some preconceived notion. I had one today. But I saw Kirtana and my mood changed. So that is how life works. Life threw Kirtana at me. So suddenly, when I heard you speak about something, because always Kirtana I start with the last class. That's my, in happiness course also. That's my style, right? I always build the class from the previous class. So that's my style. So when Raj was saying something, I saw Kirtana. Then suddenly, a certain flow of thoughts came and I shared, right? But I had thought that today I'm sharing now, that I'll ask everyone, that one question: what are the most important things in life according to you? I would ask, Shaju, Sachit, and Raj, and anyone who joins, maybe Dipanjan generally, if he also comes. So I will ask them, that what according to you is the most important thing or most important things in life, and then based upon what you say, I will share my thoughts, right? So obviously, in a way you are answering, my question partly, that one important thing would be that, we invest in ourselves, our development, right? Maybe perhaps you would have shared that one. I'm suspecting. When Raj would get a chance, he will share something like that. Anyways, to answer your question, see, why someone is like that is not that important a question. Why? Because as an astrologer, I can see the horoscope and tell you. So for me, it's not a question that is very, very mysterious, because I know astrology. Maybe other people do not know, so they may feel mystified by my answer. Sachit, Kirtana, Saju, but Raj will appreciate what I'm saying. If I can see someone's horoscope, with simply seeing the situation of the Jupiter and the Mercury, and the fourth lord and the fifth lord and the ninth lord, I can very easily make out why this person is interested in knowledge. But that is not important in this class. What is important is that it is a good habit to read, to learn, to grow day by day in awareness, in knowledge. Okay. Now I will use your question to share something else. Now it's very important to distinguish. You can make notes about this one. This is a very important point. It's very important to make distinction between information, knowledge, skill, and awareness. These are four different things. Information is not knowledge, knowledge is not skill, and skill is not awareness. These four things are there in life, and these four things are extremely important. For example, I may have all the information about a chapter as a teacher. I may have all the knowledge as a teacher, but I may not be able to teach very well. Why? Because I may not have good skill as far as teaching it comes to teaching. I may be poor in the skill of teaching. So all the information knowledge may not help me. On the other hand, I may be a very skillful teacher, but if I don't have the information and knowledge of the subject, I may not be able to teach. So information and knowledge, they supplement the skill, right? If you want to be effective in any profession. So these three things are very much needed for success in a profession or success in life: information, knowledge, and skill. But awareness is a fourth quality, which is way beyond all three. If someone has a very high level of awareness, they will never be found wanting when it comes to information, knowledge, and skill. Are you following me? So if someone is very highly aware, they will be able to pick any needed information, knowledge, or skill very quickly without loss of much time. And these people are able to enjoy life much more thoroughly because they are already in abundance when they are highly aware. You say no, abundance mentality. Abundance mentality will not come to someone who is not highly aware. Impossible. But when you are highly aware, all other qualities come naturally. That is why awareness is rated as the most number one quality all over the world. Even wisdom is secondary to awareness. In fact, as one's wisdom increases, one becomes more powerful because one's awareness also increases with wisdom. So for those people who do not understand what awareness is directly, because only meditators can understand, only advanced meditators who have experienced awareness directly, like I am doing every day. So I know what I am saying experientially, but those of you who have not experienced awareness directly, you will not be able to understand mentally. It's not possible. Like if I explain how apple tastes, if you have never tasted, can you experience the taste? Not possible, no? Is it possible? Not possible. So for that, you have to taste the apple. So awareness is like that. What I'm saying is that you are deceived into believing that to become aware of something, you need the brain or you need the sense organs. Am I right? That is what you believe, all of you believe. But it is not true. There is a direct possibility of knowing directly without the brain, without the sense organs. That is called awareness. You can call it intuition also. Some people call it intuition. At initial level, it is intuition, but at a more advanced level spiritually, it becomes awareness. Like Amma is able to know, it's my experience I'm sharing. Amma is able to know what I am thinking, what I asked her, and not only that, she is able to guide me to the perfect book and open it at the perfect page so that the perfect answer comes to me. And if such a book is not around me, within some time, through some place on YouTube or Facebook or somewhere, I don't know, randomly something, the answer comes to me. It is not possible that I ask Amma something and answer will not come to me within one day. Not possible. Or if nothing, in the dream she will come and answer somehow. She will not tell me. She will show me a dream like an intelligent master where I can understand the answer. So how it is possible for her to know what I am thinking and what I asked? So there is a certain level of awareness that she has developed or she has access to. And that awareness is called God, that knows everything. That is Satyananda, the omniscient God. So that's a level of consciousness to which everyone has access in theory. But we have to develop ourselves to reach that level. And Amma is an inspiration to me. Right. So my point was information, knowledge, skill and awareness, the four different things. Right. And we should strive to develop awareness. Okay. What is the path? That is my next examination, which I am going to take now. Are you following me? This is what I am going to explore now. So, because it's related to what Raj said. So, some people who are blessed enough to have this attitude, what Raj described, they will develop awareness slowly. Because what is the path to developing awareness? The path to developing awareness is to reduce our ignorance. In fact, ignorance and awareness are inversely proportional. And this is a very important thing. You can make a note of it. I think you should make a note of it in some notebook or somewhere so that you can ponder this thing later. You have to ponder, right? Sravanam Mananam Nididhasan. You have to mananam over this one. So I told awareness and ignorance are inversely proportional to one another. And pain, especially emotional pain, illness, psychosomatic illness, and ignorance are directly proportional. Misfortune also, bad karma also. Okay, all these are directly proportional to ignorance. So this is a law of life. That is why those people who have this habit of learning new things are blessed people, because they are destined to reduce their ignorance. How they are destined? Not because some God Almighty will give them. No, God Almighty has given them this attitude. But then why God did not give to someone else? Is God unfair? No, we already discussed earlier that God is not the way we imagine God to be. God is the ever-present energy, ever-present intelligence that is equally available to all. And that God Almighty has given equal time to all. I mean, no one can say that God gave me less time in a day. No, you have the same time, 24 hours. No one can say that God gave me a body which has no energy. No, you had a good energy in the childhood. It is what you made of your body, that is what you are experiencing right now. You could have increased the fitness, you could have decreased the fitness, you have decreased the fitness. Right. And how it happened? Ignorance. Right. Now, so if you look at life the way it is or the way it functions, life is life. It has no likes or dislikes. Life is governed by some principles. Those principles are neither fair nor unfair. They are simply principles. Right. So life is a presence and there is a interaction of living beings and living and non-living beings, or living and inanimate matter, whatever it is, the context and the living beings. And this relationship is governed by some principles. And it is a given. Now, given is a very important word, by the way. What is a given is you cannot fight it. Intelligent people don't fight givens. This is a given. I mean, you are alive is a given. You are interacting with things, people, objects is a given, right? You can't fight it. And along with this visible thing, invisible principles also are operating you or your life. That is also given. You can't fight it. The only thing left for you to do is to discover and uncover these principles. And that is what awareness is all about. Awareness is discovering these principles which govern life. Right. So these people who are blessed enough to seek answers to their queries, their questions, their curiosity, they are blessed enough to reduce their ignorance. So as ignorance will reduce, pain will reduce. As ignorance will reduce, misfortune will reduce. And when pain will reduce, happiness will shine through. Why? Because our nature is happiness. Our basic nature is happiness. Satchidananda. We are Satchidananda, all of us. We are divine souls, right? Our nature is happiness. So if pain reduces, happiness will come forth. That's how it is. You know, if my room is locked and sunshine is shining outside, I just need to open the window, no? It's like that. So that ignorance was like that block to the sunlight. It's like a locked room. So ignorance locks me in my locked room. Locked room of which one? Ignorant, unenlightened chitta, consciousness. Right. So the correct thing to learn from that observation, what Raj pointed out, is that, let's see, I do not have this habit of learning new things. Right? So I should realize what I am losing as a result of that. So those people who are watching this video and who are hearing this, what I'm saying, and who don't have this habit of that good people, you know, what Raj, or lucky people, what Raj described, you should ponder what you are losing by not being like that. What you are losing, I'll tell you. See, gravity operates everywhere. In the physical domain, in the mental domain, in the emotional domain, and in the spiritual domain. No domain is free of gravity. You may wonder how sir is claiming in his spiritual domain. I meant the ghosts and the goblins. That is spiritual domain. I did not mean the absolute spirit. Are you following me? I'm qualifying very careful. I'm very careful when I'm expressing myself. Are you following me, all of you? Any doubt? So, in all four domains, the law of gravity operates without fail. And this principle states that that which does not go up will go down. You should write it in very bold letters, put it in your drawing room somewhere so that visitors also read it. That which does not go up is destined to go down. Now you know that by law of gravity, nothing goes up spontaneously. Is it not? Hard labor is required. Is it not? Does anything go up just like that? Without effort? So this is how nature has made life. It's a principle of life. So anything which refuses to go up is bound to go down. So effort is required to propel something upwards and prevent it from going downwards. Life is like that. So if one thing which is negative about life, it is this thing. Now, don't ask me why God made life like this, because he didn't ask me, okay? That's how he has made it, okay? Now it's a given. So you don't fight givens, right? So only thing I can do is learn this, apply in my life, be benefited, teach my children, my wife, my brother, sister, my student, and let them also benefit. That is what I am doing. So effort is necessary to go up. So these people are blessed to make the effort, they are blessed. But those who are not blessed, spontaneously, naturally to make such effort, they are hearing me. You now start making effort by understanding this principle that if you don't go up, you will go down. Now you may ask, what is the wrong thing in going down? Down, up are the same. No. Wrong. Equality is a bad principle when taken to an extreme. No, these days, no, we have the equality and fraternity, and this French Revolution, no, this gave birth to these very tremendous slogans. Very beautiful words, good. But two things are never equal, okay? I mean, everything is a quantity and a quality, right? Even if quality is same, it can be less or more in intensity, and quantities are never same, okay? And both are never same. If you take quantity, quality both together, you just show me any two apples which are same, I will give all my wealth to you. Whatever you'll ask, I'll give you. You will never be able to show me. It's not possible. Impossible. Simply take it as a given, okay? Not possible. So nothing is same. No two things are same. So how equality is possible? Equality is a good principle in as a notional idea in a constitution of a country where everyone is treated equally. But generally in nature, nothing is equal. In nature, nothing is equal. In nature, nothing is same. God loves inequality. God loves lack of sameness. Why? Because Hari Anant Hari Katha Ananta. That's one of his traits. Okay. So down and up are not the same. Right and left are not the same. In India, there's something called Vastu. Okay. In a house, the east and the northeast are not the same. They're different. India is a very intelligent country. You can't tell me, sir, space is space, every space is same. No, it's not same. In one space, murders have happened. In another space, pujas have happened. Thousands of years. In another space, a wife has loved her husband so devotedly for 100 years. Three spaces are different spaces. In one space, you have energy of devotion, wife's devotion. Another space, you have so much, love. Another, or, reverence for God. Another space, you have, cruelty, pain. So space picks, this wall has picked vibrations. It is picking these vibrations. Now I am living in this house for 3 years. The next person who comes, he will be benefited by my presence here for 3 years. Because a good person was here. So life is like that. Space is not same. Matter is not same. You see, I take a certain thing and I am, let's say, Sai Baba. I bless it, it becomes a different thing. You take it, no, it will protect your life in crisis. Karma will not touch you because I blessed it. Are you following me? So even matter is not same. So forget this idea of sameness. Now you have to use this principle for your benefit. Which principle? That if you make effort intelligently with awareness, results will come. And present moment is meant for that. Anyone losing this present moment is not an intelligent person. Sorry to say that. Your pain will increase. Why? Because law of gravity. What doesn't go up will go down. And can you stop the movement of time? No. The present is going to move forward towards future. So what you are doing by not making effort in present moment is making a dark future, a heavier future. Right? So gravity will ensure that your future will be darker than what it is today. So don't do that. So that is why I know the correct learning from watching such people is that I should also make effort like this person. Now the correct question is how to become like that. So that is this knowledge which I gave you. This understanding which I gave you last 15-20 minutes will help you to become like that person. I have answered I had what I had in my mind, I answered. Right? So I responded to what you said, Raj. I didn't answer your question directly, but I have covered everything relevant to that one.
No, sir. I think it was very meaningful. Thank you.
Okay. Yeah. Then what happened last class?
Sir, we spoke about two kinds of lives in the previous class. One is God's nature. The other one is human interventions. You gave an example where an ant was crossing the road and a scooter person, a scooter rider will kill the ant. But here, unknowingly, yes. Yeah. And here, the scooter is not the invention of the God; it was the invention of the man, correct, which came in the way of God's creation. So we spoke about it, sir. One is the law.
So we spoke that God created the jungle, and we created the civilization. Right? Science is a part of that. So in that transaction, the ant belongs to God, the human belongs to God, but scooter belongs to civilization. The poor ant got crushed by civilization. Okay, that was not the God's intention. So what my idea was that randomness is not a part of nature. Or maybe even though what looks like random in nature, we know by law of karma it's not random. We have discussed that in great detail, right? So does this scooter crushing the ant, does it represent a playing out of a past karma between the ant and the human? No, it is not. So this is a new randomness introduced by human intervention. That's what I was trying to tell. And this planetary crisis right now, this climate crisis, is in many ways a result of the human randomness, which is being forced upon the nature's order, nature's harmony, nature's balance, ecosystem, what we call, right? That was the point we were discussing last class. Yes, Raj, please go ahead.
So connected to that, we spoke about how wisdom is an important quality, and we also spoke about the power of observation and using that for the discrimination.
Yeah, correct.
Yeah, moving to that, sir, we took an important topic, which is the role of censor board in society, and how many students, in MBA colleges or in any other colleges, can write an essay on that particular topic. So we had a nice discussion about it, and we also debated whether ChatGPT or any of those artificial intelligence tools can bring in some of those.
We actually tested, we tested ChatGPT, Bard, both, right? They could not give very good answers, right?
Yep.
Okay. So ChatGPT gave a decent answer, but I mean, it missed many nuances. Okay.
It was not holistic.
Okay.
Yeah, I think that is where we ended our session.
So why I made that, experiment was to tell that it's not as if you have a generative AI tool with you, it would substitute human teachers. That's what my point was, that, information, knowledge, it can give you, but it can't give you, awareness. Gen AI, the main limitation is that it can't give you awareness. Awareness needs to be cultivated. It is not a substitute for experience and meditation and, blessings of the great masters. Okay. It can't substitute that. Okay. So, like, for example, when I ask Amma a question, I'm not asking ChatGPT, I'm asking Amma, right? So she will teach me at multiple levels. She will give me an answer verbally, which is some text. And then she will even mold my life in such a way that I learn the relevant knowledge experientially in terms of my awareness. Are you following me? That a ChatGPT can never do. Okay. I don't know how much my answer makes sense, but that is my personal experience. So I'm speaking from experience. Okay.
So since you're talking about awareness, I wanted to share one recent incident that happened with one of the interviewees. So we are looking to hire for a position where I wanted to assess the person before we hire. So that way I asked one of my team members to give the data to the interviewee so that the person can do the assessment and come back. So the person took the data and fed that into ChatGPT and got some answer without doing any manual assessment or inferences out of the data. The person sent the answer back to us. At the bottom, there was a line: if you're not satisfied with his answer, try with some other question. So the awareness was lacking even after going through ChatGPT, taking that answer, copy pasting that to the interviewer. The person has not observed that there is a line which has been given by ChatGPT. Even that was also copied and sent back to us. So that's the kind of level of awareness people are.
So in Hindi, there is saying, "Nakal ke liye vakal chahiye." Like that. It's like that. Even to copy, you need some intelligence, right? Okay. Good. So didn't hire, right? Obviously.
No, sir. No, we're not hiring that person.
Yeah. Then what else? Okay.
Yeah, sir, we stopped at that role of censor board and how.
Yeah, fine. So yeah, that's okay. I mean, so let's start. So let me ask that question, which I had thought. What are the most important things in life according to your understanding? I would like to hear each one of you and then respond if possible. Who wants to? Maybe Sachit, you have spoken less today. Why don't you start?
Okay, sure. So your question is, what are the most important things that I perceive in my life, right?
Yeah. Anyone's, yeah. It's your subjective life, your perception, right?
So things, basically, I think this is something that what I value the most is kind of this question, right? So it starts with clarity, love. Now, as we are talking, so awareness is joined in. So clarity, love, awareness. For me, growth has always, growth meaning I'm not saying the material growth, but understanding life in that aspect of growth. And to give back in terms of some sort of teaching is what I've always wanted to do, but I have not begun in that area yet. So, but these five are the closest and immediate thing that I can, come up with.
Okay, wonderful. Vidhi, you want to share something?
Yes, sir. So for me, it's awareness first, because I think awareness, like what you said, adding to that, for me, it's like awareness is like very important, because only when we have awareness, we can shift things and take it to a different level. If I'm thinking like, negative things, but if I have the awareness, that's the point. For me, it's very powerful, because it has the power to change something into a different thing and take me to a higher level. So for me, awareness is always first, because if we live life with awareness, it's also like living a conscious life. You're always in awareness of what you're doing, your thoughts, word, and actions. So for me, that is first. Uh, because if we don't have that, it's very easy for us to get carried away with the human life and like how people are living, and it's just very easy for us to get carried away without awareness. So for me, that's the first. The next is joy, and the third one is freedom, and like experiencing more joy in everyday life, and how can I make living life every. So I'm an artist basically, so I create paintings and I do a lot of things. So that's like, it's a very joyful day for me. My work is very joyful for me. So joy is like the second next to awareness, and then it's freedom. Like I like the freedom to be able to do what I want, and like, to share my voice and to share my work and everything. So I like freedom. So these three like means the most to me. And of course also love, and being surrounded with loving people, and also seeing everything through the energy of love, because we all are connected in this universe with love. And so that's like the top four things which I can share.
Wonderful. Very good. Very good. Very proud of you. Good. Yeah, Raj.
So while Sashtit and Vidhi have covered both of them, well, most of them, I have a few things to talk on top of it. So one is the
So
happiness.
you can even share what they have said if you believe in them. It's
Yeah.
not that you have to be original or something like that.
Yeah. So absolutely, love is one, which Sashtit covered, and happiness around me, and happiness that I can create, that is important to me in my life. And at the same time, less of mistakes, more of corrections. Not that I want to live in the past, but I don't want to commit the mistakes that happened in the past in any form. Be it in the relationship, be it family, or be it at office, and more of learning, and less of fear, more of calmness. So these are important things to me in my life, and definitely the spiritual growth as I grow every day.
Okay, very good. Kirtana, you would like to share? Yeah.
One thing I understood is my answers to this question, I feel will change over time as well. That is the first thing I realized when you had asked this. So right now for me, what I feel are important for me is what I see are important is first thing I would say is integrity with one's own self and around me. This is something which I think for me this is something now. And another, the second thing which came to me in my mind is peace. Somewhere I feel in a lot of areas, peace is so underrated. So having peace within, for me, I feel that is very important to me. And next is, I would say, emotional regulation, self-regulation, knowing when to act and how to act based on circumstances. The emotional regulation, I think, is personally very important to me. And also I feel say around the past few months or year, I got exposed to few things which focus on spiritual ascension, as they call it. So I mean, this is something which I'm trying to explore. So discovering the the hidden aspects in myself and also in the universe, I think are very important for me to ascend eventually.
Okay, very good. Okay. Shaju, can you hear me? If you can hear me, you can also share.
Yes, sir. Am I audible?
Yes, yes, yes.
Okay. Sir, first quality, I believe compassion is the most important thing for me. I believe compassion is a very good quality, and it empowers you, or it motivates you for making sacrifices, and sacrifices in fact gives a great amount of pleasure. So compassion, I believe, as a great quality. And another one, sir, guts is something which I'm really a fan of, the people having guts. Okay, so after having my 2 decades of work experience, I have seen hardly some countable people in my professional life having guts. So guts is a quality which I strongly believe that I don't have. But if I get an opportunity, I would have certainly asked for guts to God. So guts and compassion, I prioritize more.
Okay. Very good. Want to add something or that's all?
Done, sir. Done.
Okay. No, very wonderful. So actually, I'm very happy to hear all of your views, and all of them are great views. I mean, I can't say that anyone shared something which is not, good. Uh, Now, only one thing, where I felt I can little bit, add some corrective, as a teacher. Even Kirtana said that I value integrity in me and around me. So, if you permit me, Kirtana, can I show some light or throw some light on that one?
Yes, sir, please.
Yeah. So, integrity in me is very good. Integrity around me is a expectation, right? So, since you want to grow spiritually, one of the important spiritual principles is patience. And another spiritual principle is awareness, right? So if you combine these two, you will, and also compassion. Saju also mentioned compassion. That's a very great spiritual principle. Amma's favorite word actually. If you combine these three ideas, and I talked about given a short while ago. So it is a given that society in which we are living today is not a very ideal society, right? It's a given. We can see this, we can experience this all the day. I mean, all around us. So it's a given, right? So since it's a given, a very great point Sachit told about clarity. So if we are clear about this phenomenon that right now the way the world is organized or it is functioning, it's not very conducive to promoting integrity as a natural quality among children. For example, are children being really encouraged to develop integrity by the parents, by society's expectations, by the different cartoons or movies or whatever they're exposed to, or the schools or the teachers? I would say no. Integrity is not a quality which actually is being promoted. In fact, I think most children come very integrated. Most children are very joyous and very integrated, and they lose their integrity because of a sick society. Am I not right? Do you agree with me basically, generally? Am I right? Yes, Kirtana, would you agree with me? Because I'm responding to you.
Yes, sir, definitely.
So if that is the case, will I not feel compassion for these kids who lose their integrity because they're forced to lose it? Because you see, if I see lack of integrity in people around me, they were children short while ago who had integrity, but their integrity has been taken away by a cruel society, cruel and a sick society. So that clarity brings compassion. Okay. And it need not bring anger against society also, because here society itself can be seen with compassion. And if we are clear about this, what I just explained, then our role becomes that of a teacher and a leader and a parent to our children and a teacher to our students in the class, or to our colleagues who are reporting to us, a leader, right? So our role changes from someone who expects integrity to someone who can help bring some integrity back into social processes and social structures. So how is that possible? By becoming that leader, that manager, that decision maker, that role model, who can inspire, influence people into becoming more integrated. So the onus shifts from them to us to be the role model for that quality which I value and admire. So that is my humble observation. So why? Because you also told you value peace. So if you see the connection between this and peace, you can already understand one thing. Because if you are adamant that everyone around me should demonstrate integrity, which they are not demonstrating and not capable of demonstrating, then you will lose your peace. You will become disturbed, upset very frequently, and that will be ruining your mood or your experience of life. And interestingly, this is a karma. What you will be experiencing is a result of your karma. What is that karma? Karma is that expecting integrity. And what is karma? Experiencing frustration. And what is karma? Experiencing sadness. So you see, it's a karmic, you know, web that you have woven into your life because of the simple lack of clarity. Right. So that was one comment I wanted to make, which I am sure you will take it in a positive way,
Yes, thank you, sir.
and not be
Thank you.
offended. So let me use this opportunity to also expand upon this point. So and teach something larger, right, which is not specific to anything. So you see, there are two aspects to life, human life. One is inner, and other is the outer. And in the outer, more relevant, the environment, my immediate environment, wherever I find myself. Okay, so my inner and my environment, wherever I find myself. That is what is experientially, you know, everyone's experience. Am I right? So this clarity that I can only regulate myself. You see, it is a very much true fact that inside my own subjective life, I am the decision maker about what I will do with my life, how I will use my life. Yeah, Kirtana?
Sorry, so by mistake, sorry.
Okay. I thought you want to ask something. So, in my inner life, I am completely free to choose my attitude or choose my values or choose my beliefs. Okay, if I wish to choose. But I cannot impose what I believe upon the environment. Because even if I try to impose, it is not going to be followed by other people. Because they are conditioned by their own past life, previous experiences. So that's a given. So, every person in the society is a unit of consciousness, is a center of consciousness. And, God has given that autonomy to each unit of consciousness to choose their beliefs, values, and attitudes. So, we cannot impinge upon anyone else's space because each one is a independent unit of consciousness. Okay. It's a very important principle. So, if we understand this very clearly, it helps us to shift from a judgmental attitude towards life to an aware person. See, to the extent we are judgmental, we are unaware of this phenomenon. Which phenomenon? Autonomy of each unit of consciousness to choose their beliefs, values, attitudes. So awareness is a very important quality in this case. In every case, awareness is a very important quality. But in this case, again, you see awareness. When I was thinking in the empty space, I was staring into space. The word which came to me was awareness. Because this is not only clarity which is in the head. It's an awareness felt by my soul. You see, I am living in a world where I am aware that everyone is a unit of consciousness, is a center of consciousness, and their autonomy is a given. God has given them the autonomy. Who am I to question that? So whenever I try to judge a person or coax a person, coerce a person or force a person to believe in my values, I am doing violence. I am doing violence. Actually, they are not only guilty of being, let's say less dharmic or something. I am also guilty of violence. since I know better, since I am more aware, it is more of my responsibility to be not judgmental. So if I point a finger at someone, Yamraj will come and point a finger at me. That is the law of karma. That is the principle. So if you want to escape the Yama's judgment, best way to is let go of your judgments, negative judgments. The higher spiritual principle. Yama is Saturn, no? So you have to let go of you judging others. So Saturn will let go of judging you. That's the very beautiful principle of life. So you can see that anyone with a bad Saturn in the horoscope can try this, what I'm saying. It's a upaya, no? What we call in life. You stop judging people. Stop judging people. Try to understand their perspective. Empathize. Try to understand their past, which has made them the way they are. And you will see immediately that Saturn starts to release you from its clutches. So because, this is the principle. If we judge others, life judges us. Okay. So, this awareness that I can only take care of my life, my beliefs, my values, my attitude is a very important aspect of self-development and growth in awareness. Okay. I was not so clear about this 10 years ago. So I was, more of a frustrated teacher 10, 15 years ago, than a liberated teacher which I have become now. So now so much so that, I teach and I evaluate, but I don't become angry now in the class. And recently I had an experience, so maybe, God tested me. So in a learning diary experiment, I gave to all the students in SAPG. And in the first batch which has joined ASB Kochi, out of 75 students, almost I can say 65 of them have copied from one of their friends. Okay, same 3-4 ideas are there in all the learning diaries. In earlier avatar, I would have become very, very frustrated and angry, but still I can go to the same class, teach lovingly without judging them, and that is a great miracle in my personal life. So, I'm very happy about it. And so what I did was, I have to take a second learning diary, right? So what I did was, I am going to take this week second learning diary in my presence. I say you right now in my presence. I adapted, I responded, you see. Now this is a response. I have told them in advance, 1 week in advance, in the next such and such day, I will expect the second learning diary. It will be not a homework, it will be classwork. You have to do it in the class. So whole class I will give to you, 1 hour, 15 minutes, you write a learning diary in my presence. So this is the response. So now they are forced to, I'm sure they will be spending some time to find out what happened in the last few classes, and that way I can help them to maybe reflect upon my teachings and give it back to me. So, which is more effective? My judging them and becoming angry on them in the class, when the distance between me and the student will increase, they'll stop listening to me and they'll stop liking me, they may start hating me. But that is not useful for me and to them. I will send bad vibes to them, they will send bad vibes to me. Distance will increase and communication will become difficult. But, because of the way I respond and the way I behave, students, love me and adore me, and many of them, have told me or tell behind my back, I can see in their body language, they feel I'm a person worthy of maybe following and maybe observing and learning from. So I have become a real teacher who is not only speaking but also able to practice a little bit. So I now realize at this age, that why they told practice is more important than preaching. So, preacher and a teacher, a preacher is not a teacher. I was a preacher maybe earlier a little bit more and less of a teacher. Now I am little bit more of a teacher also. Preacher, yes, but teacher also. Okay. And preaching is also important. Okay. It has got a bad name, right? But preaching is also important. Teaching is also important. So preaching is telling those values and principles, and teaching is embodying those values and principles. Both are important. Right? Why preaching is important? Because people do not have that awareness. And why teaching is important is because it has to be demonstrated that it is possible to live a life like that, even in this today's modern day and age. Because true principles always fetch love, respect, and trust. These three things cannot be bought. It's another principle of life. I remember I don't know whether I shared this with you or not earlier. I'm sharing. I've shared with my classes. Once I was doing a MDP for ESIC, Employee State Insurance Corporation. So there were some 25 participants, officers and managers from ESIC, senior managers. And I had to teach about ethics, okay, in 3-4 sessions. So I wanted to share with them that, love and respect are not the same thing. And both are needed by a leader or a manager. So what I did was I asked them to remember their father and write on a sheet of paper whether they love their father or not, and pass on the chit to me. They don't need to write their name and all. Just write yes or no, whether I love my father or no, yes or no. Pass on the chit to me. So I collected all 25 said yes, I love my father, both men and women. Then I changed the question. I said, okay, now you tell me whether you truly respect your father from the core of your heart. Okay. So this time only 15 people wrote yes. 15 or 14 people wrote yes. Others did not say yes. Some point blank told no, some told not sure, like that. And I did not receive the chit itself from 2-3 people. Okay. So idea is that when it came to respect, not everyone said yes. But when it came to love, everyone said yes for their father. So point is love and respect are not same. And ethics has a connection. Integrity has a connection. So when they saw their father behaving ethically also and with integrity also, they said yes, respect. But when they saw that their father was not that, good when it comes to ethical behavior, they were not sure or they did not have respect also. It's a great thing, no? It was a real experiment that I did, thought experiment. And immediately I learned also. I also learned that yes, it is true, it happens. It was my intuition. I tried it in the class. It actually turned out to be true. Which shows that a father or a mother cannot simply assume that my child will also respect me. Love and trust, yes, they will. Any child will trust and love their parent. But respect is not guaranteed. And in a normal organizational setting where people are coming from different families at the workplace, love and trust and respect, all three, they are not a given. All three have to be earned, no? See, trust is the bare minimum we need for any social transaction. In fact, for any business transaction, customer needs to be trusting the supplier, no? That the product is good, service is good, hence they're paying money. Similarly, employees trust that you will give them the salary at the end of the month and they put in the work for 30 days. Right? So trust is very much necessary. But love and respect, which elevate the relationship, is also important. And there I feel dharmic lifestyle, or lifestyle based upon good principles, is very important. And hence awareness becomes very important. So awareness of inner, that is me, and the outer, that is the environment, is very important. So the best that I can do is to have a clear-cut understanding of good principles as best as possible, and then becoming an epitome of those good principles in my thoughts, words, and actions. That is the very best of human limit, any individual's limit. Even Amma cannot do more than that. Even God cannot do more than that. Okay. And that is where my responsibility ends. And then whatever is my work role or job role, I can do that, but with this awareness. Okay. No, you remember that relationship, I am the 50%. That is what was. So I am the 50% of the relationship. Other 50% belongs to other person. So I can be this within my space, and the person who relates to me is coming from their space. We never forget that. But oftentimes what happens is that when we are like that, most of the sane people around us, they tend to respect us and trust us for sure. Love, I'm not sure, but if you are loving enough and pleasant enough and good enough and helpful enough, in due course, even at least, regard and little bit of love also will arise mostly. I can't say the mathematical law, but generally speaking, more often than not, people will like us, at least like us. They will at least like us, not hate us. And to that extent, our social life becomes more pleasant. So this is very important awareness. So Now, responding to what is most important according to me, I will take 5-10 minutes and then today's session will be over because Rohan has to go to write one exam also today. And I feel we have done a very good job today of discussing quite important things. No need to belabor the point, right? So I will share my perspective just like you did and then we'll close. Is that okay? So you see, I will speak from my personal experience. What has helped me personally in my life to grow so much in consciousness is this ability that I had somehow from childhood of not accepting someone else's answer. I had this streak in me for some reason of experiencing everything and before experiencing not accepting anyone's answer. So what you will call it? Maybe intellectual freedom, maybe? Right? So I feel intellectual freedom is very important quality. And this has served me very well in life. Okay, that was one. Second was ability to discriminate between what is trustworthy and what is not trustworthy as a source of knowledge. Also, what is trustworthy as a system. For example, Ayurveda. For example, homeopathy. These are two important aspects of my life. I'm a very good healer, you may know, right? My old students know about it. I'm a very good healer. In my own right, I can, be a very good doctor. Okay. For my family, for example, my both children, my wife, my elder brother, and many of my close relatives, for them, I am the doctor. Okay. Whatever happens, they will call me only. And I will tell them the solution. Generally, I am self-sufficient for my family. You can ask my family. No one has gone to a doctor. Okay. After my marriage with my wife has never gone to a doctor, except for her pregnancy. Okay. Where gynec is needed. Otherwise, they all completely depend upon me. So my knowledge of Ayurveda and homeopathy basically stem from first not rejecting them offhand because dominant majority paradigm is in favor of allopathy. Now, do I not like allopathy? I like allopathy. I know its utility and I know where it is useful. So, an intelligent person is able to, have the ability to discriminate between what is authentic and what is not. So, it's a very important quality. Especially this quality gains importance in this modern age where everyone is trying to sell to you anything and everything under the sun. And they will be claiming fantastic benefits. Everyone says my product is the best or my, whatever is the very best. So how do you discriminate the true from the false? So that discrimination. So intelligence, you can call it intelligent ability to discriminate. Okay. So my trick was this, that see, there are things which are supported by government, by industry, different lobbies, right? Now, if they are gaining currency, it is expected because that is a natural principle. No, if you put a lot of money behind something, it will spread in the market and people may start to believe it, right? It's Maya, illusion. But anything which is not supported by any powerful entity, not government, not industry, no one, not media, press, television, and still it survives and thrives for hundreds of years. Like yoga, for example. Yoga also. Though I'm not a great practitioner of yoga, hence I didn't take its name because I didn't learn yoga so much. Okay, so I can't claim to be a great yogi or something. But I have learned Ayurveda and homeopathy, I can vouch for these two subjects. But yoga I will put in the same category. So these things have not died. They have flourished and spread only with time. Why they will do it? When they have no backing, no support and so much opposition. Only way for them to succeed is because people have experienced benefit. So I will trust word of mouth more. People's experiences more. Are you following what I'm saying? This is a very good ability which I think we should develop and teach our children also to develop. So this was my methodology. When anything which is unsupported and also largely opposed thrives and flourishes and doesn't die, then that has to be authentic. We should try. Before, even if I have to dismiss, try and then dismiss. Okay. That is second quality. And third quality is self-compassion, which is what? So, if I make effort for any good work or any good thing, that is itself success for me. So the way I define success is a little different from what other people define. I define success as honest effort. You know what I mean? If I made honest effort, sincere effort, I am successful. Already. Not after the positive result. No. That is immaterial. The way I think, honest effort is itself success. And it is very important attitude for me personally. So I have shared the same with my children. Okay. I can see this very much in Rohan. I'm very proud to say that. Rohan is a very, very honest person when it comes to making effort. And he is like his father, able to forget the outcome. So he has taken it from me. He has maybe some genes also and observation also. I can see it. He is literally my copy in that. Honest effort and doesn't worry about the outcome. If it's good, very happy. Doesn't come out well, it's okay. He shrugs his shoulders and just goes to the next effort. This ability to just let go of the attachment to result is a very important quality. That is called karma yoga. This itself is called karma yoga. Sincere effort, no worries about outcome. It's okay. I know my intention was good, and that's it. So purity of intention is a very important quality. It also dovetails to what Kirtana was saying, integrity. So purity of my intention is itself a very great quality. That is integrity, right? So our intention should never become corrupted. So my method was what? How do I test my audit? Because audit is important, internal audit. How do I audit myself? So I audit myself whenever any other person is subject to my power. I can give less marks or I can harm in some way. So my audit is whether what I am doing is colored by my emotion or my personal feeling towards them or not. Because like any human being, I may also develop a like or dislike for someone. I'm not claiming that I have gone above my likes and dislikes. It's not like that, not possible. So not so easy. So maybe among students I might dislike someone or I might like someone more, a little bit. But when it comes to giving marks, am I giving marks based upon the actual answer or based upon my feeling? That is my way of doing my own internal audit. You may develop your own audit. But what I'm trying to say, it's very important to develop an internal moral compass which we use to test our own intention. And that is what keeps our integrity intact. Integrity needs to be repaired and also kept intact from time to time. Right. And this is an important ability. The internal moral compass. Purity of intention. Purity of, intention to be ethical. To be a man of integrity. Okay. Because without intention, we will not develop this ability or this desire to do the internal audit. Because often, because just the reverse of this is self-righteous behavior or what we call defensive behavior. Many people do the action out of some bias and then they will start justifying that the person who is a victim is deserving of what I did. I justify my anger, I justify my vengeance, I justify my bad behavior. Cruelty needs to be punished or, bad behavior needs to be judged. No. What I said, no, I don't point fingers at others. It's better to save my energy to work upon myself. Now, this is the most painful thing and the toughest thing that I have become little bit better in, because by birth, my nature is not like this. By birth, my sanskar is, if someone hurts me deeply, I take little bit time to forget it. I am not able to let go of my revengeful feeling or angry feeling so easily. That's not my innate nature. Okay. So this is something which I have cultivated with very great pain. Telling myself repeatedly that this is not good. Revengeful feeling is not good. Hateful feeling is not good. Anger is not good. Cursing someone is not good. Or praying for someone's downfall is not good. Right? So telling my subconscious mind 1,000 times, reminding it 1,000 times, then praying to God for purity, meditating, contemplating, practicing good behavior, practicing, behavior which is not colored by my hate, 100 times, 1,000 times, teaching these things relentlessly, slowly, my mind has become much better at forgiving and forgetting than what it was. No neural connections, Raj? new neural net patterns, new sanskaras. So this is one skill or quality that I have cultivated with effort. So in that, clarity has helped. What Sachit was telling you, clarity about what is the good behavior, what is the good and moral behavior. That clarity has helped. And now what is happening as a result of that? I am able to forget and forgive. And what I am experiencing now? More peace. And as a result, I find myself much less reactive and much less emotionally vulnerable. I think it shows in my face also. I can see myself in the last 10-15 years. My face shows to me at least much more peace. As I'm speaking, I'm seeing at myself, no, in the computer screen. I feel much more peaceful and I look much more peaceful. I don't know, my old students can tell me, Sachit, do I look more peaceful now?
Yes, sir, definitely.
Kirtana, from what you saw last, do I look more peaceful?
I see more tranquility in.
Yeah, so that is what. So I'm less reactive and less angry now.
Yes.
So
And
this I have
lightness is also what I see.
lightness.
Yes, lightness.
Yeah, so maybe this that's what I'm trying to share. So no, but this I have earned through my effort, and this lightness I'm experiencing is a hard-earned quality. But am I enjoying it? I'm loving it. I'm enjoying it. I wish I could become even more light. Right? That is what enlightenment is, becoming lighter. What is enlightenment? Becoming lighter, filled with light. So as you become filled with light, you become lighter. Right? And you start to glow actually. Your aura starts to glow from inside. And what is that glow? Presence of more spirit in you. Spirit is a real substance. God is a real substance. So more you become tranquil, more you become peaceful, and more you let go of the past, more you let go of your judgments, more you let go of the influence of the outer upon the inner, more you become filled with light, which is God. Because God needs a space to flow in. So when my inner space, chitta, is filled with hate and negativity, how can God flow in? I remember I was watching, my last to last class, where I made a very important point around 1 hour 10-minute mark, that God comes and never goes back. Generally, when people give gift, we expect them to give their gift and go back after the birthday is over, right? But God is one giver of gift, which itself is the gift. So when God loves you, God gives you a gift, which is Himself. Since God is a gift which is Himself, He never goes back. That's how it is. So what is the idea? Idea is that when you create space inside of you, which is open and receptive space, which gives space to everyone and time to everyone to evolve in their own sweet time, non-judgmental attitude plus patience. And how they have come? With tremendous amount of awareness and clarity, both. I'm very proud of Sachit. The first two things that he said, he has really learned it from me. Okay. These are two most important qualities. Awareness and clarity. Okay. You can say love, sir. Yes. God's nature is love. But point is, love is so far away from me. What do I do? How do I reach there? I want to reach a station called love, right? The train goes to love only, but it's very far. How do I reach there? When you reach love, your job is done. You have become liberated. You have attained nirvana. Okay. That is what Amma is, that is what Baba is, that is what I am becoming day by day. Okay. But point is that destination is very far. How do I reach there? So I reach there by doing what Raj told about that person. Growing in, Raj, knowledge, awareness day by day. Using my time, energy and effort to pull myself up. And slowly developing clarity, and slowly as I practice that clarity, awareness increases, and as awareness increases, space increases, and as space increases, more and more light comes in, God comes in, so much so that one day I start to consciously experience God, and all of you will experience God if you stay with me till you start experiencing God. Okay, my blessings also are with you. That will also work like magic. I am blessing all of you, right? So shall we end here today? I love you all with all the core of my being. Okay.
Thank you so
May God
much.
bless you, each one of
Thanks, everyone.
you. Bye.